Well, good afternoon. How is everybody? My goodness me, I'm sorry I'm a minute late. I've just had a bit of a panic thinking what number tile is it that we're doing. Not to worry though. I think it's 112. If I'm wrong, really doesn't matter. I can amend it later. So we'll just get on with it, shall we? Okay. What am I starting with then? I've got one of my lovely little tiles here. So it's one of those that I inked, sort of yesterday. And just sort of used all the colours and just let it go. So that's what I'm working with. I've also got a circle stencil. You don't need it, but I'm using it just to make life a bit easier for me. You could always sketch one. That one's out of the essential pack, the Zen buttons. I've got my regular pen pencil tortillon, but of course, being that we've brought out new coloured fine liners, I thought it'd be really nice to, use the coloured pencils as well. So let's see where we're headed, shall we? Right, first things first then, I'm going to come on in and I'm going to bring my stencil. I just want a bit of a circle in the middle. I say you can sketch this out. I'm going to do it lightly because I'm not going to need all of that afterwards. It's just sort of giving me a starting point, okay? And let's go in a little bit bigger. Oh, was it nice yesterday actually watching the bees on Create and Craft and then being able to sort of tangle along? I hope you did. That would have been quite nice. But yeah, it's a bit different, isn't it, doing it that way? But all right, what am I going to do then? I've got lots of colours here, so I'm going to come in with my pink fine liner. I'm going to go a little bit bigger. Oh, there we go. There we go. All right. Deep breath. Are we ready? Okay, let's just relax. It's been one of those sort of days. And where I've got this pink here, I'm going to start there. I'm going to come in with a loop. Not too small. There we go. A bit of a loop. Quite in a random place, I'm sure, but it's okay. And another. So I'm going to try and get 5, 3, 4, and 5. Okay. Oh, Louise, honestly, some of mine don't, but you just live with them. And of course, because we're drawing over them, it doesn't matter what. The tiles, it's a background, so not to worry too much. I'm going to put a little V shape there. Sam, I will, yeah. We've got to machine a few more bees, but as soon as we have, we'll get them back on. And I know people have been asking for the ruler as well, so we'll get them on. We've just got a few bits we're making for something that I can't tell you about yet. But we're getting there, bear with me. All right, I'm going to put a smaller loop on the inside there. There we go. And then I'm just going to put a little sort of dot just on the top of those loops. Looks a little bit like a chain stitch, with a stitch on it. It's quite nice, isn't it? Okay. I'm going to pull out. I'm going to do another one. While I've got this sort of pinkish colour here, I'm going to sort of keep with my pink. Okay. So I'm going to aim again for sort of 5. I'm going to put that one in there because it's a full one. And this one, look, is going to go behind that one. There we go. And then little V's, just fill it in. Little V's. Now, of course, you can do this with a black pen if you want to. You can keep it regular and do the monochrome version. That'd look kind of nice too, actually. But it's entirely up to you. Getting little dots there. Okay. Oh, that's quite too little. A little bit bigger. All right. And yeah, I've got another one. Put another one here. Although it's getting a little bit magenta-y, isn't it? Just because I can change colours, let's do it. Okay. All right. I'm gonna bring in this colour. You see, I'm just sort of matching it with what's underneath. That's 2, 3, 4. What's gone over a bit? That's okay. And 5. And then again, these little sort of V shapes in there. Just as we work our way around. You're not going to see that one. And then I can sort this little centre bit out with some loops. There we go. And again, those little dots in play there. Okay, I've got a little bit of purple over here as well, so I'm going to do purple here. So here we go. That's sort of more a magenta. The purple's a little bit stronger. Now here you can see I can either go over the circle or I can stay inside. Well, my choice, so I'm going to go over. 3, 4 and 5. I'm just going to come in and rub out that little bit of pencil there that's inside that one. Oh, thank you, Sue. And you know, it's lovely. I actually went on what we call talkback yesterday, so I could hear what the producer was saying. And they were absolutely inundated with pictures, which they love. And it was, you could hear them battling to get them all in some sort of order so they could get some out and shown. And then, of course, they were trying to mix that with, you know, watching me and getting demos done as well. So, but it was lovely. They're so nice, and they love seeing what you all do. And I also could hear it was wow, they look great. It was just lovely. Okay, so again, I'm just doing 5 there. And just as before, I'm just going to bring in that rubber and just get rid of that little line there. Okay. And then I'm going to just sort of work along and add those little dots. Oh, who's that? Was it Maureen asking about instructions for classes? At the moment there aren't written instructions because it's all in my head. But as soon as I've packed things, I've got a few bits to deal with, and then I'm going to be putting some Zoom classes online. So I thought what would be quite nice is to start it with something that we already have. So I don't know, maybe I'll do the lotus or the dragon, you know, and go there and do a class on those. So I know some of you have got these stencils and you've not used them yet, so we need to get that sorted so you can get some of these wonderful pieces of art done. There we go. So again, putting this little loop in, and you can see I'm sort of choosing to go over the lines there, but I'm still keeping within the circle. I'm not going too far out. There we are. Okay. So I think here I'm going to stick with the blue. So again, it's going out there, but that's okay. And then underneath this one, let's go this way. 3, 4 and 5. And then of course, filling in those. You can see a little bit there. I do need to just rub out that little bit there. Okay, and then little loops. There we go. And of course, just little dots on the ends. Ah, this is falling. Okay, so I'm going to come to, I've got a bit of an orange. So let's switch it for that. Sort of see here, it's going from pinky to orange, so let's work in that one. There we go. Again, just going out the lines there, but that's fine. I'm not going to do anything over that, so. And then of course just come back in and remove that one. And then sort this little V shape in there. And just sort of work that in. Then little loops around there again, and adding little dots on. There we go. So I'm going to do another one of those here. See, that's going to go underneath there. Just sort of imagine it working its way underneath that shape. Again, just adding that little bit of filler in there with those little V shapes. You won't really see one there, but I'm going to put the loops in and little dots as we go. So, okay, might come into the yellow here. I'm going to use the really bright one. And there. Bring that in. Will we see it? Yeah, we'll see it. I'm going to shade it so it'll be fine. Okay. And then just sort of putting those little loops in. Little dots as before. I think I can see that on camera better than I can see it in there. Let's bring in a bit of green just on the sides here. So that one's going to go underneath. There we go. 3, 4, and 5. And again, just sort of adding that little space or shape in, little loops and little dots on the end. And go for another one here. I'm going to put this one in first because then it gives me a sense of sort of size. That's 3 and 4, 5, and again just as before, just sort of filling in with little loops and little sort of dots around. So I've got a bit of space here. So yeah, I'm going to stick with the green and work it round. There's 3, 4, 5. Oh gee, that's yeah, I'm definitely going to do a bit of zoom and do a bit of tuition. So be good. I'm on the case, I'm working on it. I know I keep saying that, but of course we know things are changing a little bit now, so let's see where that leads us. Okay, oh Sue, now you're asking, would it be right for me to say I'm working on it right now? Well, not right now because we're doing this, but I am working on it. So I am hoping that it's going to be out. It'd be nice this month actually. But yeah, I'll put a post out soon because of course if you've got tiles between 100 and 1 going up a little bit, then maybe you'd want to be sending them in, but leave that to me and I'll get a post out about that, or I'll have a look at it and I'll mention it in our next session. Okay, so I'm just using the grey here and I'm just coming in and filling in any of the gaps I've got left with bubbles. So I'm just going to sort of do the centre. See, I've done some on the edge there. I'm going to just do the centres and let's see where that takes us. See, just sort of filling in. And of course you can do this in a colour if you want, or you could just do it with your black pen. Whatever works for you. Or I think the black might be just a little bit too stark with these colours. So I'm going to go in with a grey. Okay, so here I've just got to make sure that I'm drawing within the camera there. Now it's a little bit hard to see under the lights I've got here. There we go. See, it's a little bit there. If I go over, it's fine. Okay, yeah, I'm going to go around the outside as well. So I'm going to completely fill the circle with bubbles. There we go. One there, and a few in here. Just sort of looking for spaces. I'm not thinking about keeping them the same size or anything like that. I just want to get some in here. Okay. Sort of keeping that. It's a little bit guesswork there. There we go. Maybe a couple there. And then just sort of finishing off. There we go. Okay, so let's have a look at where we're at. Louise, yes, I would. They are about that. Yeah, but of course, if you press on them, you can get a little bit heavier, but there's no need really, because yeah, they're about a 3, which in some cases is quite nice. I know sometimes you want a little bit more of a finer nib for the finer details, which is why we've got our black pens. But this is just a little bit of fun, and seeing, you know, what you can do with them. See, I'm just drawing in that circle now. The great thing with this, if you've drawn one and you think, do you know what, it's not exactly how I wanted it, if you spritzed it, it'll go into watercolour. Not too much because you'd lose it completely then, but yeah, it'd look a bit crazy. There we go. That's our starting point. Oh, all right then. So I think now I'm going to stick with the grey, and we're going to have a look at doing a little bit around the outside. So I might bring a little bit of green or something or a colour in later, but I'm going to stick with the grey for now. And I'm going to sort of work, doesn't matter where, we're going to go slightly round. Louise, yes, they will go with your 3 microns. Test it on a bit of paper first. But yeah, that's right. Okay, a bit of a curl. And then we're going to do another one on the top. So it's sort of like piggybacking. We'll do another. And another one. Okay. A little bit like a spring, isn't it? So what I'm going to do now, I'm going to come around the back here. I'm going to go inside. So it's like doing a little bit of an aura. Just working my way down and back round up to here. And then that's going to sort of go back off and down. And I'm working at the top there. I'm going to come in and round. Oh, in and round. I know I do this quite a bit, but this is a little bit of a different take on it. I do like these sort of merging together. Okay, let's have a look at that. Alright, I'm going to do another one, but I'm not going to do it as big this time. I might just do, just going to do the one actually. You see, if I bring it round, so I'm doing that little aura, and then from about here, I'm going to create these little sort of bumps coming off it. You see? So maybe from here I'm going to do one going this way. There's one. This time I'm going to put just 2. I'm going to put 3 in. There we go. And then from here I'm going to come round and in, and aura that one, and then aura this one, and back to the bottom. And then bring it round. And each time I do this, I'm stepping it, see, in a little bit each time. And then I'm going to do another little one this side, curl, and then come around the curl and down. And then on this side, I'm just going to do those little lines going off. They are, Lisa, yeah, quite feathery, aren't they? So it depends as well, you know, you might want to change it up a bit so you've got 2s and 3s and they're all a little bit different. You see this one comes round again and down. Imagine this could be quite a nice feather on its own, couldn't it really? You could go quite large with it and then tangle inside things. So, and another. And then around, and all of those little curls, and back in, and then around, and just sort of step it in each time, going behind that one. And then let's do another here, maybe just the one, and around we go, this side. And then bringing this one around in gentle sort of curves. We sort of space left there. I'm going to do another this way. I know some of you'll find it easier one way than the other, but just sort of persevere with it and try it different ways, and not worry too much about, is it going to be even, is it going to look symmetrical? We don't need to worry about that. Just want to get these little shapes in. And then let's do sort of another one here. Hey, it's tea time!
And I'm here to do it.
Hey! It's nice to be looked after.
Who's going to look after me?
Oh, Leslie, you've got Dobby. Okay. And long and down. Dobby's just said he's not doing it. He says, no, it's not up to him. He's got a life of his own. Leslie's not his boss, he says. There we go. You see, I'm sort of going first one way, then the other. It's forming a little bit of a pattern, but I don't really mind that because they are quite random around the circle anyway. So I'm going to put another large one in here. I think I've only got one that's got 4 in it. So let's do 4 here. And then around it comes 1, 2, 3, 4, and down. Leslie, you want to hear, Leslie, what Dobby's just said? It's not good. Do another one this way. I'm going to sort of come out this way a bit. Let's do 3. And then around and along. I think actually Dobby's still pining for Pauline Wheeler, but he did 2-timer, so can't blame her. Let's do this one. I'm going to get 2 in there. Around. And then I'm going to bring it round this way. Okay, so it's a little bit random at the minute. It's got these sort of odd shapes going on. But I'm going to be coming in with, I think, no, it's Leslie's bones, Joanne. I'm going to come in with, I'm going to stick with, shall I go with the blue? Oh, no, I'm going to go blue. Oh, these decisions I can make. Actually, I've got 2 blues. Let's try the lighter one. Let me just turn it over. Yeah, that's kind of nice. I might use that one. There we go. Oh, quick sip of tea being that Leslie's made it. All right. So let's just come on in sort of here. Okay. Oh, it is a little bit light for the camera, but there we go. Let's see what we can make of it. I'm going to put a little droplet on there. Now these are a little bit bigger than what we usually do with this tangle. I'm going a little bit bolder today with that, and then I'm going to just draw in these lines. But you see how I've actually gone inside that little droplet a bit. Let's do another. Let's do one sort of here. So droplet a little bit bigger. See, you want the line to go inside it this time, and then just sort of add in these droplets and then bring it down. And I'm going to come in here, go a little bit larger than the usuals that we do with this tangle. And of course you could do these in different colours, but you can go a little bit darker if you want. You can stick with this. But I sort of wanted the middle today to stand out. This is all dressing around the edges, just to give it something to sit within. There we go. Do another one here. So I'm just working around my tile. I'm not really planning how many I'm putting in or where they're going. Just sort of go around as you do it. Okay. Let's do another one here. I'm kind of glad I did a lighter colour because it's there, but it's not taking away from the centre. It's just giving me that extra little bit of detail that I need. But just sort of around the edge there. And of course let's do one in here. Not going to see much of that side, but I'm still going to put those little stems in. Rose, I think you should just go for all 16, just stop. Put them all in a line and start on one and work your way along. I've done that before now, I must admit. Yeah. See, they're just sort of peeping outwards, creeping in wherever. There we go. Oh, the other one. I'm just taking my time, drawing these. They just, once you start doing these, they start to sort of roll off the pen. You've just got that kind of curve going, and they just sort of appear on the page. And then along we go. Right. Okay, let's have a look at that then. I think we've probably got to get a few zingers in, haven't we? I think that's got to be a bit of a must. Let's have a look. So, colour to do that in. I think I'm going to go with the really bright green. And of course, little sort of zingers in there. If you don't know what one is, let's go for it. Done a little line, look, put a little dot on. And then I'm going to aura around the dot. And then again, and each time it gets a little bit smaller, you see? Till there's nothing left. So let's put a couple more. I'm not going to put a massive amount of these in. Just sort of a few of them. Just brightening up some of those little places that might need. So I'm going to put 2 in there. Might need a little gap. And maybe one there, like just sort of balancing it out a little bit. Got to put one in here somewhere. They sort of fit in all sorts of places, and you don't have to sort of worry whether they're going over the top or underneath something. There we go. Okay, let's have a look at this. Oh, all right. Let's get a bit of pencil in there and see what's going to happen with it. Okay, I'm sticking with the grey, my regular graphite pencil. Let's go a bit larger. I'm going to start with the flowers. So I'm going to add some pencil to the inside there, straight over as we normally would, and then around the outside edge too. And again, just straight over those colours. So I'm not going to see much there. So we're on to the next one. Again, don't worry about colouring in, just add a little bit of graphite. I'm sort of doing a bit of a zigzaggy motion. Just to sort of get a little bit in there. Maybe a little bit under there. Okay. Of course, oh, I better do the middle. Do the middle first, then I'll go around. And again, if you've used a regular black pen for this, that's fine. You're going to do exactly the same with your pencil. But you might have decided you want to use coloured pencils to fill this in. Entirely up to you. Okay, sort of work it round there. So move on to this one. So a little bit under there, just where that petal's sort of going underneath. A little bit of shadow. just sort of work it round a little bit. Of course, if you've used a plain coloured tile, you're going to get a slightly different effect because we've got colour underneath already, so they're all going to look different. There we are on this one. Middle first, then around the edges. Okay, just sort of one more of those. This would make quite a nice border, wouldn't it, using these flowers? And then let's have a look. We've got we've got some really large bubbles. I'm just gonna put in a little bit of a smirk, just in the larger ones. I'm not gonna worry about any that are too small, it's fine. And then, okay, see we've got this shape here. I'm just gonna come up the side here, where those curls are. And then again, just a little bit on that top edge. Oh, sorry, there you go. And then same again, so here we're going to go just along the side there and then just along that top edge. See with these little ones, there's not really much in that you can do with that curve. Oh, I do apologise, that was off screen. Yeah, just down the sides. And then again, just around there on the sides. Around the curls and then just at that top edge. And then around the sides and at the top edge. Okay. So I'm just sort of working my way around my tile there. Just having these little curves with some shade on. Just see how that's going to work out there. Yeah, just sort of top of each one. Same here. There we go. And okay, that's sort of the last one. I also want to add some pencil. Oh, there we are. Around the outside of that circle. Oh, there you go. But of course, where you come to the petals that have gone around and out of that border, then I'm going to not put pencil there. See, just sort of wherever the petals haven't sort of covered it. All right, in with our tortillon. Here we go. Okay. So I'm going to start with centres of the flowers, just very gently soften the edge, and then of course the same around the top of those petals there. Now you see I've left a little bit of a gap in between as I don't want to fill the whole flower with graphite. Just very gently working around the edges. Oh, surely we're on the case. We've been packing this morning, so Hermes. I'll book Hermes for tomorrow, so we have to book a day in advance. So we'll be on that. We'll get that done. Okay, and same around each one of these little flowers there. Along, and just sort of trying to leave that little gap in between if we can. Don't really want to have the graphite all over the petals, so I'm being really careful. Of course, it's now the colours are showing through, so it's really nice to see. And then it's nice to see, you know, when you start putting the graphite on and it changes it completely. It doesn't always. So, sorry, Shirley. I can't help it. I just like creating things. was a real pleasure yesterday, actually. I felt like I got time to demonstrate. That was lovely. So, I hope I got across a few techniques anyway for you. At least I managed to show you how to create your backgrounds. I'm sure you do. You all know how to do it now, but it's nice to just be reminded, isn't it? So again, I'm just going to very gently, see, just sort of soften around the pencil and then around those at the top there. See, leaving a little bit of a gap again. Just want that light to just sort of shine through there. Work my way along those little springs. There you go. And there. There we go. And just sort of blend as you go in. I think it's a little bit more forgiving, isn't it, as well, when you've got a bit of colour in the background. It's not like you've got to try and blend and fight with the brightness of the tile. So just sort of working my way in and around. There we go. Just sort of touching each one as I go. Oh, Rose, I'm glad they were useful. I try and be useful. I try and give you lots of hints and techniques if I can. I always go on, I think, with my teacher head in mind as to what can I show you and how is this going to be relevant to when you get it home. So I want to make sure as much as possible that when you get any of my stencils, you've at least got a starting point, or if you recorded the shows, you can sort of see how things work. See, I'm just coming in now and I'm just sort of using a few swirls, just softening around the edge of that circle. Let's have a quick look at it. Okay, so I'm just going to bring in my white pencil. Okay, and I'm just going to go in and in where the highlights are on those flowers, just going to add the white pencil. Again, it might not show up completely on there. Let's have a look on the screen, because of course it's a pale tile to start with and it's very subtle colours, but it does add a bit of a difference. There we go. You see, just sort of reintroducing that little highlight there. So I'm not going to blend this or anything, I'm just sort of adding in that little bit of whiteness. See, just along those shapes there. Of course, the darker your tile, the more that highlight will show up. So, whatever you're going to work with. And then, of course, just sort of in the middles of these. I do apologise, my camera's wobbling a little bit. It's connected to my table. A bit, see, not. It's going to be mostly sort of these larger pieces. Just sort of bring it down and add in a little bit of white in those highlights there. Much there, but there. Okay, I think just to sort of finish it, I'm going to come back in with my pencil, and I'm just going to sort of really darken up around that circle. Okay, see, just really defining where the edge is. There we go. Just adding in that little bit of a border in there. Okay, let's going to see where this felt's going over this one. I'm just going to add a little bit more pencil there. I think that just needs to show there. You see the difference? It just gives it that little bit of an extra edge there, and maybe just a little bit more there. I'm not going to do all of them, it just gives them all a bit of depth. Some of them are in front of each other. Again, just sort of ever so softly. Just give this a little bit of a brush with that tutti on. You see, just sort of nice and gentle. Okay, I think I'm just going to come back in with my pencil. I'm just going to add a little bit of a pencil just in the middle. See where we've got those little points. Of course, you could come in there and you could add in your little gel pens, your metallics, your little Nuvo drops, whatever you want to use. Okay, let's have a look. Oh, Rose Nuvo drops. I don't know if you. I'm a bit addicted to them at the minute. They're from Tonic. They're like they come in a bottle, and you can just drop a little bit. It's like sort of liquid paint. You drop a little bit in the dots, and they'll self-level, and you just leave it to dry, and you get like a little raised surface. Come in lots of different colours. They're fab. Okay, so here we go. The main thing today was to get this sort of focus in here, these little flowers, which I think we've done really well. And of course, adding some extra little bits around the edge. It's a little bit of a lesson in randomness, not trying to get it perfect. But of course, using those coloured pens as well, I think it's nice to sort of work with the two. It's quite nice. So, all right. Oh, Vicky, get them out, get them used. So, yeah. They work really well, especially with, anything droplet-wise, they work brilliantly. So there we go. Last thing to do is to sign it, of course. There we go. And there is our tile for today. So yeah, the 60s, but a little bit of bright, fresh spring, isn't it, I think, as well, coming in there. So there we go. So have a little bit of fun with that. Enjoy. There's nothing stopping you sticking or putting a bee on that one as well. Maybe a little one in the corner somewhere. But whatever you want to do with it, try it with different things. And of course, post them and let's see what you do. So there we go. Okay. Have a good day for the rest of it. And I will speak to you again on Friday. All right. You take care, everybody. Bye.